Welcome back to the Raw Light Podcast. My name is Danielle Baker, and thank you for being here once again. New year, new me. It's taken me a while to want to get back on here. It's taken me a while to want to connect back in with my clients and my beautiful people that follow me and that have followed me. I honestly feel like I've gone through a massive transformation like most people in 2024, but mine was pretty huge. Postpartum brings such a different way to life and to your, how do I describe this? It brings a different way and you change completely as a different person. And it's taken me, Oakley is 20 months now, and it's taken me till now to really work through some really deep stuff. And I feel you guys kind of followed me along the journey, and I felt like there was a lot that kind of came up for me last year. And I really hope that this year is a little bit more balanced for me. And I think a lot of people are like that as well. Yes, I have very off balance days as well, just like every other human being in this world. I just have the tools and the tips and the tricks that I use from learning for the last 15 years, 16 years now, from my mentor and a lot of people along the way. I love learning. It's one of my favorite things, and I love getting into my brain and figuring things out a little bit more. So the last past year has been about getting into my brain and figuring out what I really, really want to do in this world and how I want to show up for you guys. And it's kind of like a growth journey on the podcast as much as it is in real life. And I feel so honored to be here, so honored to be involved in such a beautiful moment in time right now. A lot of people, especially women, are awakening to wanting to have a spiritual journey within themselves to discover that spiritual part and side of them. And it's really important for women to connect back to this space and place at the moment because we've lost our way. We've lost the way of that essence of cooking in the kitchen and feeling very turned on by it, or hanging out washing and enjoying that small moment of being in the sun, or watching a blade of grass move over the ground, or feeling the earth on our feet, especially when we become a mother. And for those of you that aren't mothers that are listening to me, it's really important, I think, to educate yourself. And it's the biggest thing that I knew going into having a child was that it was going to be a massive learning curve. And educating yourself on tips and tricks that you can learn through postpartum, that's really important so that it sets you up for success for when you're in menopause. Now, a lot of women don't know this, and this was actually told to my mum by a psychologist. Um, I would have to get my facts right on that, but I think it's a psychologist. Anyway, they said to her that most women that see him for menopause, for their mental state, had a really bad postpartum with one or two of their children. And it's really important, and this is why it's so important, about stepping into knowing that postpartum will be tough on days and months, could be weeks, could be hours, and it can be very challenging. And that is just an honest fact. And anybody that tells you otherwise and tries to play it down really needs to take a look at why they're playing that down and what fear is coming through. Because my biggest learning and working with women in this last 20 months has been working with mums, has been working with people who are also single or just married. And I can tell you now the greatest thing that I see is women trying to play down their pain, women trying to play down their issues, women trying to play down themselves, and any pain that they have, they're playing it down because if we don't look at it, it's not an issue, it's not a problem, but that is where the core problem for women happens. So it's about talking through it as much as it is energy moving with work. Now, if you haven't seen some of my testimonials from a couple of my clients that I've had in the last probably two to 4 months, they've leaped in bounds The way that I've been doing my healings has been very authentic, very root based, and very much following my own energy with it through the universal language of light language. And it's been very healing for women. Some people have called in their ancestors and helped them fly through some pain that they're going through, divorces that they're going through. As well as them being already open and having that knowledge that they want to follow their energy. And even I've had clients that have never ever done anything like this before and have jumped leaps and bounds very gently with the work that we do, and we open very gently and we have very honest conversations, and it's not always the big deep spiritual stuff, but that does come along with it as well. So that is something that I felt like I wanted to share on here that is very authentic to me. Is I'm following my own energy now. I'm following my own steps, my own day to day, my own life, my own flow. And that is where the magic happens. And I feel that a lot of people miss out on this magic because they are really afraid to step out of being seen as somebody who is in the 9 to 5 trap, or in the trap of talking to their friends about their husbands and their problems and their issues and not actually dealing with it. And I see it a lot, and it's probably the most most knowing thing that I've ever known for women to feel stuck is from that place. So it's been really important for me to take a look at where I've been stuck in my life, the greatest lessons. Like, I was talking to my mentor recently about some really tough times last year that I had to look at myself and really soften, really learn. And I'd lost a friendship in between all that, which taught me so much. And I learn very quick and very fast. That's just how my energy works. And I will not make that mistake again because I'm not that person anymore. So some really beautiful learnings and lessons there. And it is really good and feels really amazing to be in the energy that I'm in right now. So I just want you guys to know that even if you're stuck in something and you feel like, because I had 20 months of being postpartum and 20 months of really working through some deep anger, some deep frustration, and learning that I can't control everything, especially with a child. And it was huge for me to work through that. And I had to work with my mentor very hard, like anyone else would, on this specific issue that I was having. And it was more or less like me getting frustrated, which would turn into anger. And then I would just take that out on my husband and those types of things. It's nothing else. If you're going into it too much, it's nothing else. That's just the basis of it. And it was a lot of old DNA stuff. Because when I spoke to my mum, she said she had a lot of anger and frustration because she had us kids in the space of 3 years, didn't actually get to evolve with us children. And it ended up being very frustrating and she had a lot of anger from her childhood that came up. So see how if we don't handle our childhood, that it can come up in a lot of aggression, frustration, anger, and sadness, because sadness is the core root of anger. So if you're really angry, you need to look into the sadness and allow your body to feel the sadness. And something that I've learned in the last 20 months is if you just sit in that sadness for 20 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and really feel it, it will remove itself from your body. But as humans, we don't want to go into that because it's too painful. But if you sat in that for 20 minutes and you remove that pain for, say, 2 days, you would grow leaps and bounds instead of caging yourself and feeling stuck and going in this circle. What I struggle with in this world is seeing why people would not want to break chains. And it's something that I've had to work on and understand that not everybody is going to want to grow and listen and learn and evolve, and that is totally okay. But it's something I've had to learn through, that not every person is right for you as a client. Not every person is going to want to grow and leap and bounds. And that is something everyone needs to realize with, in your early 20s, you will have friends that will be there for different reasons. Some will be there forever and some will not be there forever. The amount of growth and change that I've had in the last 10 years, so since I was 20 to now I'm 30, has shifted so much. Okay, like so much. The leaps and bounds that I have had is absolutely incredible, and the lessons and learnings I've had is just phenomenal. And so when you go through probably from about 26 to 30 for a woman, I can only speak for me being a woman, most women go through massive shifts and changes. That's why some of your friends might get divorced, split up, start a new business, do something different between 26 and 30, because you're energetically, every person on earth goes through a stage where they have an opportunity to change themselves. If you fight this change, you end up having things happen to you that forcibly makes you want to shift. Partner cheating, accidents happen, parents pass away, loads and loads of signs are right in front of you. So if you're going through something like this now and you're like, why me? Why not you? What are you missing in your life right now? What are you not seeing in your life right now? What are you not taking on board in your life right now? These are the important things to see, feel, acknowledge, and really figure out what is really, really going on within. And it's a really powerful place to be in, because I've been in it for that long, and I can tell you now, it is very tumultuous on days, and then it does balance out in between as well. And I feel that a lot of people fight this journey, fight this length. And it's really important to acknowledge it, move through it, and shift it. And if you are in this stage and you really are needing and wanting that support, that's where someone like myself comes in, and we talk about what's going on underneath. We sit in it and we move through it together. I mean, I've just had 2 clients, and one hired me for a whole month every week because they are going through some tumultuous things. And the leaps and bounds and the openings that she has given me has allowed me to connect with her ancestors, to help her connect with her ancestors very slowly, to clear any DNA patterns from the past so that she can move forward and work on her DNA, her own DNA, not her parents, her DNA, which ultimately for a woman gives you power, gives you strength. And if you have a daughter, it also clears her line, even if they're born. And it's been absolutely incredible. And I've had also another client that I'm working with who is wanting to fall pregnant but hasn't been able to. And we've really broken down the reasons why, and if she's actually felt like she was ready, or the reasons behind it, and some things that need to be worked on before the next stages happen in pregnancy. And this is quite common, where people get really stuck on not actually realizing that if they are trying to fall pregnant, there is a lot of factors that come into it, spiritually as much as physically. Your physical health and your spiritual health are one and the same. So how is that aligning, and how is that moving? And where is your mental health at? Where's your husband's mental health at, or your partner's mental health at? Where's your spiritual health at? Do you know yourself well enough? What has your first child tried to teach you and you're not really seeing it? These are the things that are very valuable that people push past and don't want to see, because if it's not physical and you can't see it, then why should I believe it? But it's about that belief that helps you change the physical. And that's what's so important, and that's what's so inspiring and so beautiful. So I'm going to have this podcast go for a shorter time today, and I'm just going to leave you with those little nuggets. But 2025 is an expansive year. It's a year for women to really step into their power, to really take hold of their purpose, and to really understand where they're going in life. A lot of women will not know where to start. A lot of women will not know where to go. So it's important to connect in with somebody like myself, or somebody similar who you know has really good testimonials, who is working from a very authentic base, and not just going for the people that have 2.2 million followers, because sometimes they are not the people who will actually be able to activate you, who would actually be perfect for you. So it's about seeing how they treat people, how they handle customers and clients, and also how you feel with them. So you could pay, I remember paying somebody, it was 10 grand, all right? This is crazy. I paid 10 grand for like a month to work with this specific person. And they helped me a lot at the time when where I was at. And I'm very grateful for it. But I think that I probably should have invested that money like I was going to begin with. And I decided to invest it in myself, but didn't invest it in investments. And I would be in a totally different place than I was right now. Not saying that this person isn't authentic, because I actually love this person, but I think that the price that they were charging for a month, 10 grand, is a lot to put down. And I just happened to have that money in my account that I'd got from. And I probably should have put it into a bigger investment, and I didn't. So it's something I regret, but I went down a different path, and I also got to know myself a little deeper. I got to know myself a little bit more. And that was a great learning lesson for me. So I'm going to leave you with those little nuggets today. It's 15 minutes of some really good core lessons that I've learned in the last time since I've been here. I don't think I've been on here for the last 4 months. I really needed a break. And Oakley was going through some massive growth, massive changes. And I really want to be more present with my daughter right now and where she's at in life. And it's why I'm not showing up on social media as much, because I need my energy for my daughter. I need my energy for my clients, and I will expel as much as I can online. But for now, where I'm at, I feel really comfortable with my energy and where it's at. And we're building up to be bigger. We're building up to reach more people. And you can't do that if you're constantly expelling your energy very fast in small bursts. It needs to be a steady flow of movement. So say you're trying to start a business right now, or say that you're starting a new job and you have kids, and you're finding that you're expressing too much energy. How can you rebalance that at the moment so that you can take on what you need and be the best mother that you can to be able to support your children? Because a lot of people go, what does my child need? I need to give everything to my child, everything to my husband, leave nothing for me. And then you become depleted, angry, upset, depressed, and you're not sure what's happened. But because you've given everything to everybody else, you haven't given everything to yourself with the beautiful feminine energy that we carry. We've given it all away. And one thing that women don't realize is when you birth, you actually, as a woman, give your energy to your child. That's why women are so tired and so exhausted, is because you give all of that energetics to your child, and a woman is like, I'm absolutely exhausted. And if you don't have much energy to begin with, you've just given them a tiny bit of your energy, and it's like the last bit of your energy that you had, you're depleted. So it's important, if you ever go into pregnancy, or you're about to go into birth, or you're about to build yourself up with energy, because then when you have the baby, it disperses into the baby, and you've still got a bit left for yourself to thrive and survive. So there's another little key tip and trick for you there that's very important on a spiritual level. Otherwise, women become very depleted very fast in postpartum, and it's important to build that energy up. So, guys, I have really enjoyed today. It feels very authentic, very real, very me. And I'm grateful that I'm back. But I'm not sure if it's going to be weekly or fortnightly. And I'm sorry if people are like, but I like the weekly one. And how come you can't tell if it's fortnightly? Because right now I'm following my energy and I'm following the bursts that I have. So it could be two. It could be 2 weeks. Could be 2 weeks. It could be 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. I'm not sure yet. I will let you guys know more. And also, aren't you guys excited to like when I do drop my things? So then it's not just like all at once. But yeah, so I'm gonna go, and I love you guys heaps. Thanks for always following me, supporting me, and loving me. I'm really loving my beautiful clients right now. Thank you to them for their support and trusting in me, and I take that very seriously. But yeah, have a wonderful day, guys, and I'll speak to you guys soon.